Okay, hello, welcome to today's stream. Today we will be working on an educational Next.js app. This is probably going to be an ongoing project, but we'll see. So let's just jump right into it. So I already got started on some of it. And close out to there. Okay, so we have classes, academy, the profile settings, flashcards. A lot of this will probably get rewritten. For right now, I just wanted to start somewhere. So let's go over to the flashcards. And as I get better with the OBS software as well, I'll be able to show different screens. At the moment, I'm just showing one just to keep it simple. And I figured just show the code. Let's see, flashcards is going to be over here. So what I want to have is a variety of different topics. So language, economics, math, computer science, and then have it also so that people can share flashcards they make with different people. And each profile will have their stacks associated with it. But for right now, let me just reorientate myself with what I even have made so far. Okay, so I have a little outline border, margin 3, padding 3. Let me just put a shine stack. Okay, so I'll have this div. So here we just have two p tags, one for one for the question, one for the answer, and then add some buttons. Okay. Class name, this one will be a grid. Grid columns. Let's make it 3 for now. Div. Here's a button. And just make a few of these. Okay, so we have the previous card, we have the next card, and we have the flip card. And I'll either use an array or a map to hold all the questions and answers. Let's see. Then let's have a little test array. Then we'll have to do that again. And okay, so that test array. And then make it multi-dimensional. So I have the question and the answer. Okay, and then have some text or okay. This one Q. And these, I'll probably rewrite this later on so I can have more than one QA. For instance, if I'm doing like a language flashcards, it'll be, you can have like the word, the translation, maybe the pronunciation, some test sentences and all that, maybe some other stuff. But for now, I just want to get something simple going. So we have previous, fill in these text. Yes, flip and next. Okay, let's just see if I can do this real fast. Avoid previous. Okay, on click, event handlers can't, oh wait, use client. Use client. Okay, so now if I click previous, okay, so that works. So now, let me go and this. Okay, so now I have some buttons, but let's change these to sky blue. And eventually I want to have a whole bunch of gradient colors in here, but for now, let's keep it somewhat simple. Also, is sky blue not a color? Or, let me see. How do I change the colors? Doing border color. Border transparent. Indigo. Okay. Does that work? I think that worked. Let me see. Yep. Okay, cool. So and at some point I'll make a CSS file so I can move out all these lines and lines of whatever. Let's see, for now I have that. Let's add this to here as well. Let's see, so I have previous, next. So okay, so I have so I have that. Element by ID. This one will be Q. This one. Let's see, document element by ID. Let me see, I need to figure out how to get element by ID q.html document.get inner. I do have an ID with that. Let's see, let's just say previous card. That'll probably be an error, but let me figure out. Okay, so the alert still works. Oh, no, that works for some reason. I don't know why. It tells me the spelling is incorrect, but whatever. Okay, so now a current card is going to get 0. Card ID gets this, a test array. So test array. Where the current card is, so that's going to be current card. And this will be the question. And then I can do the same thing for next, except we're going to first go current card. So this one we increment. This one we decrement. And then if current card is less than 0, let me see, that'll be the length of whatever. Current card gets for now, I'm just going to make it 2, change to array length. Okay, so that way, in case there's some kind of error along the way, I can fix that and kind of isolate the error there. Which shows that object possibly no. Okay, whatever. Let's see, document get element by ID, document.this, and then do the same thing for this. So if the current card is greater than 2, it'll become 0. And this one, I can actually just keep it at 0. That one I'll at least have to change. Let's see, and then flip. Document to show element A. And the answer gets shown, but we also need to hide the answer when a new card is shown. Just go like that. And do the same thing for previous. Save that, and now that's just it. Q3, Q2, Q1. Okay, so all of that works. How do I ignore dictionary spell check? Figure that out later. Okay, so I have something working now. Let's see. So that works. The page is looking a bit dull. Need to relearn Tailwind on Next.js and everything. Let's see, if I just do this a few hours a day, hopefully within a few weeks I'll be back up to doing something decent looking. Let's see. So I have these. Here's my links. At some point, either ShodUN or Radix, I think is what it's based off of. I need to install that probably sooner rather than later. Because if I keep updating it, it changes a bunch of stuff. Let me look that up real fast. ShodCN. View components. I should really just install all of it. Well, a lot of it. Okay, I'll look into that. Oh, that's where I had my button featured from. Okay, yeah, I'll install this stuff later-ish. Let me see. For now, let's see here. Select the topic. So I need a way to select the function. Select my select flashcards. this way. Okay, let's have one called let current array. Let's go with that. Okay, let current array. Why? Oh, is it not using anyway? Okay. So just a I don't know. What is X? And the answer can be Y. Okay, inner test array. So the test array works. I need the actual test array, current array. And later on I'll use Prisma or eventually PostgreSQL to store all the data, but for now, let's just keep it like this. So array, current array, current array. Okay. And now flip can also be changed to current. Okay. So I need to figure out how to swap out the array. And then empty array. So array 2 gets this. Okay, let me test this. Select flashcards means I'll need a new button. And this one. Select flashcards. Okay. What is X? Test array, current array. Current array, current array, current array. Okay. So I select my flashcards. And I need to have select flashcards actually do something. Okay. Current array gets test array, and at some point I'll add something in here once I remember how to do the parameters. Q1, Q1. So this has current array, current array, current array. Okay, so that seems to be working. And test current, just to make sure that this one's getting overwritten. What is X? Okay, cool. So let's see. So I can remove this. What is X? Okay, so let me just have a few test arrays now. Current array. Let's just call this one working. This will be what is that? Let current array equal, oh, because I have too many of these. Okay. So I have one for networking, one for Next.js array, and then I don't know, it's just okay, and I'll just generate questions for that later. Is TCP Next.js new project in Next.js and I from a database. Okay, so now what I'm going to want to do, select flashcards, figure out how to add parameters. X and Y gets 10. Okay. And here, this will just be the set that we're passing. Select flashcards. Does this not work? Let me see. Using inline arrow function. Quick event. So here, is that, let's see. Okay. Select flashcards. This be set. Sorry. Let me see. What's that name? And let's just have it alert the set name. It seems to be working. Okay. So here I have this, and now what I'm gonna want to do is add a drop down. Let's give this its own little div. Okay, div button on click. So H3 select my flashcard set. Okay. And here I'll have a drop down. Let me figure out how to do that again. Option value, select a fruit, fruit select, to flashcard, set select, flashcard select, select a flashcard set. Let's see what that looks like. And here we have, what do we got? We have networking. Okay, so now I have a little list, and if I can select it, so now I need to get the value of whatever the selected one is. Open document to create element. Okay, let's see. Select flashcard. Get the selected value from select menu. Event. Okay, so the drop down, my select ID. So the ID is going to be flashcard select. Flashcard select, drop down, selected value. that. Then do alert instead. Selected value is blank because I don't think I added. Let's see. No, the value's there. Option value networking. Let's see. Drop down dot value, get element, flashcard select. Here's my ID. Wait, I see. Okay, so I have the value, I have the text. Set name, selected value is blank. So it prints this, but there's no drop down dot value. Drop down is coming from flashcard select. So it's not getting that for some reason. Let me see. Flashcard set. Flashcard select is the ID for the selection list. Here's the options. I don't think that'll change anything. Set name, selected value. Okay, I know it's a simple solution. I've done this before at some point. Let me see. Selected value option. Option 1 button gets selected value. ID gets the output. Drop down selected index. Drop down dot selected index. Drop down selected index dot value. Okay. Let me try this. Somehow I don't think it'll work, but let me see. And select, go like that, select my set, select my flashcard. Now I have an issue. Selected value is not defined. Selected value is supposed to come from the value. Selected index dot value. Get selected option. Let me select disabled form. Okay, one sec. This being a lot easier. Dot value. So here I have this. Here's the value. Get the value. Selected. selected value, where am I? Okay, let's go to everything. Let's read it first. So I alert the selected value. Okay, one second, maybe that's why. Okay. Let's move this to the end. And then try running it. Set name, one issue, selected value is not defined. Where is that supposed to come from? Selected value gets dropped down to value. Okay. What about just try this whole thing? Console log selected value instead. Alert the selected value. Drop down, flashcard select. Flashcard select, selected value comes from dropdown.value. Dropdown.value gets from there. Select my set name, selected value is still blank. So why is it blank? Select HTML represents a control that provides a menu of options. I have the option with the value. Shows the select usage, go to ID attribute to enable it to be associated with a label. Okay, let me just try changing that real fast. Select flashcard set. Okay, let's change this to a label for whatever that's going to be for. Here's a label. Here's that. Okay. For pet select, for flashcard select. Not sure where the spelling correct comes in for all these. Okay, so for the flashcard select, we have flashcard select, networking, Next.js. Get the element by ID, drop down get value. I don't think this will change anything. That is drop down value. Flashcard select, alert set current array. I really don't think that'll change anything, but let's see. So now wait, select flashcard set, select flashcard set, select this, select a value, blank. So I still have an issue, invalid DOM ID for HTML4. Does Next.js not have? Okay. HTML4. Select my flashcard set, go to Next.js, select this, select a value, still blank. Okay, why is this blank? You can further nest options inside of an option group element to create a separate group of options inside of the dropdown. You can also create a horizontal rule element to create separators. Keyboard users, styling with CSS. Here's the value. Okay, let me start with this. Here's the value for this, and let's just say this is selected. Selected value blank. Selected value blank. Let me check the console log. Value on props instead of setting selected on option. Use the default value or value props. Okay, so this is some kind of React kind of thing. Okay, let me look that up. Okay, so to get it in, I need event target value. Import React and use state function, select component, selected value, set selected value, use state for the initial value, use state blank, handle change event, set selected value, event.target.value, console.log, selected value, event.target.value, select a component, const selected value, set selected value, use state, const handle change, event, set selected value, event.target.value, event.target.value. Okay, let me see, I need to work on my React. Select value, get selected value, on change, handle change. Handle change is gonna be, you set the selected value, so the event.target value, select, set selected value. Set selected value comes from use state, which is going to change the variable of the selected value. So then the selected value is going to become the value. Then you selected the selected value. So function, select component, const select value, set selected value. Return div options.map, option key option.value, value gets option.value. Let's see. So going to select the flashcard. If I can either get it up and running quickly and just ignore the whole select options in there. It's not. Select flashcards. React select component. Select component is implemented as a custom input element of input base that extends the text field components, subcomponents. Either outlined input, or filled input, depending on the variant selected, shares the same styles and many of the same props, refers to the respective component API page for details. Placeholder prop is not available in select. To add a placeholder, refer to the placeholder section below. Multiple select. What page of material UI? Okay, let me Material UI is an open source React component library, implements Google's material design, comprehensive and can be used in production out of the box. So maybe look into that besides the, what is it, Shad CN and Radix. Installation, npm install, peer dependency. These don't React and React DOM are peer dependencies, meaning you should ensure they are installed before installing Material UI. If I'm using React 18 or below, I need to set up a resolution of React is package in the same version of the React I'm using. Material UI, let's see if this is still used. Still heavily used in React. Let's see, Reddit says still used at enterprise orgs, which moves slower. Still use Material UI. Okay, so a bunch of people still use it. Except Radix UI, Base UI. Okay, so some people use Shad, some people use Material. I did like Shad, but I had some issues and I have no experience with Material UI, so I'll look into that later. Okay, let me see. I just want to have a flashcard thing working. Come back to this. I know it's not that hard, but I have to relearn React use state target. Okay, let me just read up on that a little bit. Let's see. React select option, get value. How to get the selected value from a select option React, I primarily use an on-change event handle on the select element and access the value via event target value. For native HTML, in React, the native select element works similarly to an HTML select, but it's typically controlled by the component state. So to find the state to store the selected value, use the value prop on the select element to select its value from the state. Implement an on-change handler to update the state with the new value from the event object. Okay, so import React, use state from React. So let's make sure I have that. Import React and use state. Let's see, fruit selector, constant selected value, set selected value. Return this whole thing, const fruit selector, const options, const handle change event, set selected value, event.target.value, return. Export default fruit selector for the React select library. On-change handler works different, provides the entire option object or array of objects for multi-select as the argument, not a standard event object. React select. Okay, so I gotta install extra stuff for that. So let's try to stick to typical. Let's see. Const fruit selector. And here I'm returning this whole thing. What am I returning here? So I return this whole page. Const fruit selector. So I don't have a fruit selector, so let's say I have a flashcard selector. Flashcard selector, and this ends up, turn this whole thing. So I have label apple, handle event, event target, selected value. So then I have a label for fruit select. Select a fruit, ID fruit select. Options gets options.value. Okay, let me just try this whole thing with this. And that just brings up a huge error. Why is that? Alright. Let's see if that does not load at all. Okay. Selected value is not defined. So I have selected value, set selected value, use state apple. Can I just throw this inside of fruit select? No. Parsing ECMAScript source code failed. Const flashcard. Selected value. HTML4 select value. So I have no event. Handle. Const flashcard selector. Use state apple. Const options. Where does target come from? That's kind of my main question. Options.map option. Option a key, option a value. The value gets the option.value, so that comes from what I just deleted. And then selected value becomes the value of selected value. Selected value is over here. So maybe that's from some of the other stuff I didn't copy. Okay, let me see. For now, does this, can I not do it the JavaScript way? It's gotta be, to get the selected value from a select option in React, primarily use an on-change event handler on select element. I could, if I just have a different select button for each array, then I could skip this whole option select thing, but I need to learn that at some point anyways. So do I want the flashcards to be done workable sooner, or do I want to figure out how this React stuff works? Okay, let's see. Select flashcard set, not working, not working. Select here, set name. Let the current card equals 0. Function previous, alert previous, current card. Current card is less than 0. Current card gets 2. Increment current card. This is all working fine. This is what I'm trying to get to load. So I'm trying to get the value from here. Okay, let me see. Okay, so I'm gonna take a quick 10-minute break, and I will check back in 10 minutes and go from there. Okay, I'm back, and I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna work on a couple other things for now. I'll come back to figuring this part out later, maybe read up on it a little bit, but right now I just kind of want to get some of like the groundwork set for the pages. So let me see. If I go to the home page, actually let me pull this back up. Go to the home page. Okay. So let's start with making the first page look nicer. So practice file. Okay. So link layout. So and actually the practice page might be where I try to figure that other problem out. Let me see. Okay. Had an error. Why does it? Oh, I need class name. No, I think href home. Okay. Okay, so now if I hover over that, makes it look a little bit nicer. Camp 4, add some padding. Okay. We do columns 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that'll do for now. Wait. Yeah, let's keep that for now. And figure out font size. XXL. 4. Okay, so H1 will be 4XL, H2 will be 3, H3 will be 2, and so on. Okay. This thing, back to the flashcard. So if I go to the academy, okay, how do I unify the header? Let me see. Okay, let's see. New folder, components. I'll just call this. Okay, let's just call this one header bar 2 then. Then Import my component. That will be don't think that'll work. Let's see. Module can't be found. Okay. Let me see. What is this? I forget if I had to import stuff into the layout folder. Or that'll work. Okay, one sec. So in this case, I can't find that. What about this? Whatever one. Resolve. Module not found. Relative to the file. Here I'm already here. Now it loads it, supposedly. But it doesn't. What about this? No. And let me see. Ever one. Update the import. Sure. Another. Export header. Export header. Here's my component. Dynamic imports. Lazy loading. Next.js provides a built-in helper, next/dynamic, for lazy loading components to reduce the initial JavaScript bundle size and improve performance. The component is only loaded when it's needed. For example, when a user interacts with part of the page. Next/dynamic. Server versus client components. Server component to the default. Render on the server closer to the data source. Improve performance and security. Client components used for interactivity. Use state, use effect. Browser APIs like onClick. you must add use client directive to the very top of the file. Above the import, declare modular imports as client side. Return. Page.tsx dynamic component, import dynamic. Excuse me, let's see. Import dynamic, export default example, export async function, get static props. Dynamic imports are lazy loaded. This will affect Next.js's automatic code splitting and potential server-side rendering. Here's my header bar. I don't need an image. Do you need a link? Do you want to export this? What if I do turn can't resolve that. What did I name it? Header bar dot tsx. There we go. Okay, cool. So I had okay. Alright. Awesome, easy. I just forgot to return it. Alright, cool. So then I can now go like that. Okay, cool. So let's see here. This goes like that now, so I can remove this whole thing. Like so, and that'll still work. And now, here's that. Can't resolve this because wrong page. Let me see. I need to figure out where this is even located at. Go up to there. So that's some point, wait. Yeah, okay, so at some point I need to figure out where this is actually located at, so I don't have to keep using relative whatever. But I'm making some progress. Okay, so let's clean up the Academy page, because this is... Okay. Academy flashcards. So what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to have my main header. Have my main header bar, and that's coming from up here, and I think it'll come from there, not sure, we'll see. And I have this. So like that, and that will give me all of these. So now, let's see, I can put a little HR between these two. And put an HR after this one. Okay. So I now have my main header bar, which gets me to like different main pages. And then depending on what page I'm on there, I'll have a secondary header bar as well. Okay, so it's starting to get to kind of how I want it to be, and I'll figure out the mobile settings later. I might just give that like a single main whatever burger menu page thing, but at least for the desktop it's starting to look better. Okay, so we have memory flashcards, and if I click on flashcards I go to here, and there I'm going to also want this. And let me actually just copy that from here. And actually just go and move that to here. Why does, oh, wait. Okay, if I go back to home, back to here, okay, cool, so everything still works out there. Though it might, is it doubled up? Yeah, it's doubled up, okay. Wait. Oh, no, that's good, okay. So I have that, header bar. So let's create a new file. And then since one of my pages, let's do Academy header bar dot tsx. And this one can cover all of these. There is header bar, Academy header bar. Please client import link, Academy header bar. Academy header bar, and this one. Just like that. And I would still call it header bar one. Okay, can't resolve components, header bar, Academy header bar, why not? Header bar.tsx, Academy header bar.tsx, page. There we go. Alright, now it's starting to look a little bit cleaner. So I have my home page, has my links, and then I can go to the Academy page, and it has the sublinks. And I'm not sure. So I think what I'm gonna do, move these things. So I already have flashcards, the quizzes. So flashcards, quizzes, games. Link, list item. Alright, I got rid of the list item, okay. Alright, so I have that. Change this one to classes. And that one should probably go at the top. Let's see. I have classes, flashcard, quizzes, games, memory, empty template one. Let's see. This one is still using a grid system, so let's change this one to flex. Change the gap to 14 like the other one has. Add in a padding of 5. Let's make it 3. Oh, that's the other one. Padding 5, okay, fine. Okay. So now the Academy page is looking all rightish. Let's see, Academy text 2XL. I think I changed this one to 4XL. And let's add in like a padding of 5. The text to the center. The color can just stay white. Okay. So now I have the home page. Go make that look better. I have the Academy page. Do not have a classes page. Do have flashcards. Don't have quizzes. Oh, is that? Where'd I go? Quizzes. So memory I need to. No, memory I have. Games I need to add. Okay. So at least I have a good little list now to go off of what needs to be worked on. And I think even if I just stick with these for now, I'll have a good little start. And let me get rid of all this stuff. Let's see. Classes, okay. So I'll come back to that stuff later. Classes. Why does that? Oh. Okay. So I'll give this thing a little div. And then I'll add an image to go with it, and then I can just have like a nice little, just like a list of boxes, sections, whatever, that if you hover over it, displays text, just to start making it look a little bit more nice and not just text. But I'll figure out the images things later. Let's see. Classes, flashcards. So I'll just keep it at full width for now. So I'll make this thing into a link later. Classes. And it's a little bit redundant because the sections are also listed in the secondary header, but that's okay. And I will pretty soonish go and figure out how to get the CSS working again. I don't have to have everything in here. Let me see. Here's a div, say grid. open columns for get 10. Okay. Flashcard quizzes, games, classes, flashcards, quizzes. Games comes before memory. Okay, so now stuff is starting to get filled in a bit. So let's make sure that I actually have content for stuff. Doesn't. Go to classes. Launch header bar, right, because this one classes is going to be nested more, something like that. Can't find components, can't find components. Oh, this one I probably need as well. Okay. So now I go home, I go to Academy, I go to classes, and I have classes. And under classes, let's go with coding. Not working. Right. Coding, not working. Let's go math and finance. All right. So see, so I have classes, I have flashcard, and the flashcard page looks really bad. So let's go and import this stuff. Flashcards, classes. What is, oh, okay. Classes. I have that there, this here, and then I still have select a topic. But I'm on the flashcard page, so I don't need these. And I have that, so I can go like this. And then I have the main and everything outside of it, so I'll update that in a little bit. Okay. Okay. I can go to the classes, and if I click on the classes, I'll make those go to like pages that combine a bunch of the content from the other ones. So the flashes, the quizzes, the games, and all that, those will all be combined onto one page. But if there's a specific activity you want to do, you can just go to that page and load different class content. So at some point, I think they use modals. I forget what Next.js calls it. Parallel component something. I don't know, something. Parallel slots. So I'll figure that out later. Probably get there pretty soon. Probably not today, but soonish, maybe soon enough. Let's see. So I need a page for quizzes. Classes, flashcard, quizzes, games. Why is there no games? You see, maybe it just has to load for a while. Okay, I'll come back to that. In memory I have games. Every other page works, but games does not. Why does games not work? Can't be found. Should work. I think it just has to find it or something. Okay, come back to games later, I guess. For Wait. Go to classes. Academy header bar. There we go, that's why. Memory, games, quizzes, flashcards, classes. Okay, cool. So now I have a good amount of the template skeleton ready for the academy. Still need profile settings, the life goals. I don't know if I'll make that its own page. Practice, that's just kind of if I feel like just messing around with coding stuff. So I'll come back to that one later. Life goals really seems like it belongs more under profile. Settings, I can start adding some color options. Probably need a sign in stuff. I'll add that to the home page. There's the home page. unique local scoped class names. Prevent style collision, allowing me to use the same class name in different files. Tailwind also promotes CSS styling in the app router. I look inside app UI. Do I have app UI? Tailwind. Yes, lint, packzod, I need that for, I think, sign in later maybe. Use for each ESLint, array buffer, node modules. So how do I global style at app UI global.css? Okay, wait, globals.css. So I have this. Does this do anything at all? I don't think it will. Oh, it does. Look at that. Okay. Alright, neat. Alright, well, that was easy. Let's see. So, let's make button. And the default button. White text. Background color can be blue. How do I do radius? Save values. Button background color. Text align center. Just try that. Okay, let me just find it. CSS button examples. Okay, let's just start with this one for now. Why is it green? The example was blue. Okay, let's grab a different one. needs a class. Wait a sec. Prismic.io has some neat looking effects. And I just want something simple. I'm just going to use this, however it ends up going. Let's see, hopefully it's alright. What is this, HTML? Where's that coming from? Parsing CSS code. Damn it, I had to delete that. Games. What is this? Okay, so I can't have empty CSS thing. Alright, I'm content with this CSS for the buttons for now. Figure out the color styling later. It's starting to look better. Let's see. Pretty soon, work on the flashcards. I'll add the little drop-down select thing. I'll figure that out. I think what I'm going to end up doing is just using different buttons for each topic for now. That way I can at least use the app myself in the meantime. Let's see. Let's see, memory, text, numbers, cards, chess. So at some point I'll need to get, I guess I could use the letters, but I'll get images later. Flashcards, classes. Let's see. At some point I'll have to create content for all of these as well. Okay. Let me... I'm gonna take a break. I'm not sure if I want to call it for the day. Yeah, let me call it. I'll try to stream again tomorrow. So yeah, I think that was a good start though. We'll see where this goes, but at least it's starting to look better. I'll probably try to make the header bars more uniform across pages. Maybe work on the profile page a bit next time as well. Maybe even hop back on later, but it'll probably be tomorrow. But yeah, it was a good start. I think for 2 hours that was actually got a decent amount done. Run into a few challenges I'll have to check back on later, but I'll look into that and figure out how to solve that. And then, but in the meantime, I'm making progress. So yeah, I actually feel pretty good about where this went. I'll try to stream some more pretty soon here. So if anybody ends up watching this, thanks for watching and have a nice day.